I'm working on the 2006 Town and Country and been having problems with idle, and every once in a while the red light will come on the dashboard, and it seems like mainly when it's doing it, it's whenever the air conditioning's on, it's at an idle, and the fan's running. So I got a lot of electricity. It's pulling a lot of amps out of the battery, and as you can see, once again my negative battery terminal is all corroded. Now, I already placed this once. I put this particular one on here, which I don't really like the quality of it. And the old one had just disintegrated. It's almost looking like the positive terminal, which I hadn't replaced. It looks like it's starting to disintegrate to some degree. And I think what that is that's galvanic corrosion, which is you have dissimilar metals, you have plating, and it doesn't play well with copper and lead, and it just literally eats itself apart. So I went and bought this marine style terminal. It's basically an old style lead terminal. Those other ones are supposed to be good for the environment, but you know, hey, if it doesn't work, I have to use the one that actually works. And this one was only $4. And so I'm going to put that on, and I'm going to clean it up real good, and I'm going to put this Oxgaurd. It's dielectric grease. You can get this at Lowe's or a lot of different places. They might even have it in an auto parts store. But you wipe that all over it. That'll keep a lot of the corrosion down and get a good connection. And hopefully the thing won't stall anymore, and it won't idle rough anymore. Flimsy. I'm going to take this nut off of the negative terminal first. I don't know if the battery's low now because I don't think it was making very good connection. You can see that there's still grease on there, so it was connected fairly decently. Oops. And I don't have the right socket. So you can see that's all nice and green, and you see how you can see copper everywhere? That's because all the plating came off of this. So much for the green style terminal. It didn't really work. Get this cleaned up. Probably should have a brag or something to get this off here. So I'm going to put this Oxgaurd stuff on here. I don't have much left. I like this stuff. I use it a lot. So before I started this, all you could hear was a solenoid clicking. It wouldn't even start at all. So I don't know if the battery has any power in it or not. Looks like it's got a spark. And I see the lights blinking, so it must have a little bit of power. Okay. So we'll see if it starts. So the battery's probably low, and I'll probably have to charge the battery, but I'll let you know how this thing works out. If it doesn't work out, then the next thing is to cut this off and actually get one of the terminals that clamps this down. So that's it for now. So I ended up replacing the battery because the battery was 4 years old, and I must have wore it down because of the bad connection. and I ended up putting another one of these marine style terminals on. And I just wanted to point out that when I did both of these, actually I had to use a drill bit and drill this out. So I had to hold this with a pair of vice grips, and I used a drill, and it has a flattened edge on it. I kind of took the sharpness off it so it won't even cut you. And the reason I did that is if you try to drill into a copper, what happens is the drill bit will literally pull the drill right out of your hand, and you probably end up drilling something like down in here that you don't want to drill. So you have to be really careful that you don't use a sharp drill bit in copper. And so now I got it to the point where I don't have any stalls. The light's not coming on anymore, and I tested it quite a bit. So I think a lot of the stalling that I've been reading about on the internet is mainly just due to really bad battery terminals. And so I think that's all you need to do is switch your battery terminals and you solve a lot of your problems.